This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios, this is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. This week, we got No Sweat Surge in the house, and hopefully the boys will join us a little later. Episode 187, March Madness, is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago sports fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt and search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts now. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening on your podcast app in the morning, as soon as this comes out, remember to give us a 5-star review. Remember, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on the support button. You can subscribe for as little as 99 cents. Help your boys out. We got to stay on the air, and every little bit helps. So, Serge, man, what's going on, man? How you feel?
I feel lazy.
It is Sunday. You feel lazy? It's Sunday.
I ain't done a damn thing today. I washed some clothes yesterday, and that's about it. Oh, no. Washed the car yesterday, and I took it to get washed. I ain't washing nothing. I don't mess with the soap and the bubblies and stuff like that. But it's snowing. It's snowing out here. I know y'all gonna be getting that weather out there too.
Hope it's rain by the time it gets here, man. And if people are wondering why we're on live on a Sunday instead of Monday, it's because my boy, we have our annual tradition, me and my boy Jesse, annual tradition to go to Monday Night Raw, and it is tomorrow, because we're recording this on a Sunday, and CM Punk is making an appearance. I was like, who? CM Punk is making an appearance. Cody Rhodes will be there. It'll be a good time, man. Every time I go, it's a fun time, and it's an annual tradition. We actually went to WrestleMania. I don't remember the number, but it was in New Orleans when The Undertaker lost. Bro, it ruined my night because he was undefeated.
But isn't that all scripted?
The outcomes are scripted. Yes, the outcomes are scripted. Yeah, it's my telenovela, bro. Leave me alone.
It just never dies. Like I seen novelas where the people die and they come back. It's just like, is that what wrestling is like?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think my son went to the one that was in Vegas last year or something like that. Was it in Vegas? It was some big hoopla. I think it was WrestleMania where The Rock came out.
This year?
No. Last year, I think it was last year or the year before. But he is a fan. Like, I gotta go watch Raw and all this other stuff.
They might have been there for Raw or SmackDown.
He went first. Like, it was a big event though. So it was like in Vegas, and he actually enjoyed it though. But The Rock ended up coming out at the end, talking his stuff that he normally does. But no, he likes it. I think
wrestling's hot right now. Wrestling's hot. It's at that point where it was in the 90s, where we our age, we were doing a crotch chopping.
Not I.
Oh, come on. Oh no, he went to an art school. Sorry.
No. No, there's nothing artistic about that. Autistic, not artistic. No.
Oh,
I am not. But wasn't it like Generation X guys?
Generation X, yeah.
Where it was like the little guy Pac.
Yeah, X-Pac.
And then hold on, I'm trying to remember names. Triple H, which he runs the thing. He used to have long hair, and I don't know who the other guy was. Was
Shawn
it
Michaels.
Chris Jericho? Oh, Shawn. Okay.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
I did like Chris Jericho. I mean,
Chris Jericho's a beast. I was there when he debuted in Chicago.
Y2J. Yeah.
Yeah, Y2J, because he had the countdown and it was going on for weeks and no one knew who was going to come out. And I'm like, oh, that's got to be Y2J. And sure enough, lights go off and boom, boom, boom. And it's the countdown.
We did watch when it was like, what's his name? When Rock was just like clowning everybody. It just made it fun. And then it just died from there. I was like, I can't watch this.
It's coming back, brother. It is really coming back. It is very mainstream at this point. It's really good storylines now. It's almost there, bro. It's almost as hot as it was back then. It's not X-rated like it used to, because it was a lot, they let loose back then, and we can't do that with cancel culture anymore. So yeah, I know.
All right, don't make me cry. You say it was not X-rated no more.
No, not this week.
Pay-per-view, Playboy Channel.
Oh boy, your
We,
stuff was
we
all
know where Vince
scrambled.
wants to go. Vince McMahon's like, hey, let's take it to the Playboy Channel.
That's why he's in trouble now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this live episode, our Illinois schools look to make a splash in the tournament. Well, one of them is because the other one's about to get bounced. The Bears take a closer look at Caleb. The Cubs and Sox ramp up for opening day. The Bulls lack consistency, and they're just a atrocity to watch. I could not watch yesterday's game. The Hawks beat the Sharks in a stunning comeback, but they're on the verge of losing that number 1 pick, all that, and stirring the pot this week. So how about we get started, bro? Are you ready? I'm ready.
I was born ready, brother.
There we go.
As
all right,
lazy
bro.
as I've been, I better be ready.
All right,
a damn thing.
I don't got a sounder this week, but we do. Let's start off with Northwestern getting past their first round matchup, Florida Atlantic. And right now they're facing Connecticut, and I turned off the game because they were down like by 25, 30 points at this point. They lost 2 starters this season, and they've been patching up that thing. But I'm looking at their offense; it's so stagnant. No one's really able to be a playmaker. No one can drive, and they were getting suffocated by Connecticut, UConn, and UConn is a beast when it comes to NCAA. They're always there. All right, they're always there. Now, will they make it? I don't know. I don't know if they make it.
I thought the last time they were valid when Ben Gordon played for them. Wasn't Ben Gordon? Wasn't that last time they won? Or did they win one after that? Because for me, that was the last time they were relevant, but I could be completely off base.
Yeah, I'm not a big college basketball historian because my brain's old and a lot of stuff gets deleted to get new information in there.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that comes with age.
It definitely does. That definitely does. So Northwestern's about to get bounced out of, and it's still a good showing, right? They got out of the first round, they got to the second round, to the 32. It's still a good showing for a program that's still growing. Unfortunately, they just need better talent to deal with the big boys. But speaking of big boys, Illinois, the Illini, the Fighting Illini. Look, my boy right on the other side. My boy over here. It's opposite. Keep forgetting. He showed out, man. This kid is so good.
Terrence Shannon Jr. He can't. Terrence Shannon Jr. He can't carry that team all the way through. They're gonna lose the next game. But this guy, he is a draft pick quality player. He carried that team on his back. So they're not gonna get all the way through. They're not even gonna get through the next game against Iowa. But
Iowa State,
they might do it. I mean,
I think they can beat Iowa State. I think it'll be a good game.
My opinion is not going to, because you know why? This kid has been doing all the work. Okay, and somebody else has to finally step up. If you watch these games, he's doing 30 points, 20 something points. It's horrible to watch one player just shine, right? But it feels like old school basketball where you just had one star on the team. That's how it feels like when I watch college. But it's funny because I'm watching. My son said earlier, my oldest, he said, man, I can't watch college basketball because all they do is stand there and dribble the ball until like final 7 or 10 seconds on that clock. And you know what? He's actually right, but they like the NBA. They like that fast paced.
They like that no
points being scored.
Yeah.
There's no defense being played. It's just an atrocity to watch. That's our word for the day, isn't it? Right? Because we said it like 3 times.
There we go.
We're gonna start. Where's our countdown? So we can count every time we say atrocity. But this kid is gonna. I say he goes in the first round of the draft if he opts for the draft.
If he opts, I mean, he had 26 the first time and then 30 the second game. Against Duquesne, or however you say that college. Hawkins had 7 rebounds. Damask had 7 assists. I mean, I do think that it was more of a team effort for that second game of an 89-63 win. I'm trying to pull up the stats here.
For them to make it there, they were losing to win the Big Ten championship. They were losing the second half by 10 points in 3 games in a row. By 10, they had to dig out of that. And guess who stepped up? He did. And there's nobody else that was doing the work. He was putting in the work. Yeah, they did their little, because it is a team game, but he was hustling. And remember, he has his off the court issues, which people are not going to forget. But he fought that too. So I'm going to give this man his props because he's like, no. You're screwing with my livelihood. This is the only chance I'm going to get to show out. We're going to take it to court. The school couldn't do nothing about it. They're like, you're going to let this young man play. And he is playing, and he is balling, and he is making sure he's making the most of it. And that is what a quality player does. And he's been a star. And he reminds me like of not Ao. He reminds me of Kobe. Kobe, he just reminds me of him because he's doing what he needs to do. I like it.
He definitely has that dog in him. And again, he scored 30 points this past game. Damask had 22. Hawkins had 11. Guerrier, or however you say his last name, had 10. But they don't have a deep team. It's literally the starters that are carrying this entire team. You had one.
Iowa State has bigs. Look at their bigs. Their bigs are gonna outshine us. I mean, that's why I'll give Iowa State 7.5 to win. Like I think they're gonna beat us. They're just well more of an oiled machine than Illini are. Illini are just missing pieces, and they're relying on like two players. And this young man, he's doing the grunt work. He's got him on his back. I'm surprised his back is not aching and broken by now, because he's carried that damn team the whole damn season. And even when he missed a few games because he was suspended because the off-court issues,
right?
When he came back, it was like nothing. But he did hit another switch, and he did hit another gear, because he's like, this. I went to court, and this is me just thinking, assuming what he's thinking. But I fought to get to here, and I bet you he's living his life differently from that incident to what's going on now. And it makes you open your eyes.
Yeah, and something. All of us that were young at that point, right? We made a lot of dumb decisions. You put ourselves in bad situations.
Oh yeah,
and
we still do. I'm 43. Still do. What the hell? Every day is a fight.
Every day is a fight. That's the good thing. We want to wake up and fight. I'm trying to find the stats for Iowa State. I don't know their team because I haven't really done a preview.
Their bigs are better than Illini, and I'm telling you, they're going to win by 7.5. I hope Illini does pull it out, but I don't got them passing this damn round in my bracket, so they need to stay their ass out.
I do have them
my bracket.
Yeah, I do have them advancing in this one. So
I took them out.
You took them out?
Because I think Iowa's bigs are better.
All right, so I'm trying to pull up the game. When is that game coming through? That should be says the 28th. What's today?
Oh wait.
It says the 28th and the 29th. So
that's next weekend.
Is that next weekend already? So
yeah, because we're the 25th tomorrow.
Oh, so Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Thursday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm dying to see that game. I mean, rest heals everything, right? So his back won't be broken, and he should be healed. Get him some good therapy, some rocks on the back, the heated rocks, because that team needs to step up and help him out. Everybody else needs to start hitting the shots and just doing what they need to do. With this young man, that's a star.
Who'd you have winning the whole tournament, man?
I took UConn. I took UConn.
You took UConn.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who took Purdue. Hey, I think Purdue's the one. Kentucky got bounced out the first round.
Oh God, Kentucky, by Oakland, right?
It was an awful. How do you get bounced out the first round? You Kentucky, but they're saying, is there Coach Calipari, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying his time is done. He's done. His reign is over. He didn't even get out the first round, and this is what he's known for. This is where they make their bread and butter, is March Madness. They don't make their bread and butter during the regular season. They make their bread and butter March.
Yeah.
This is the big show. So with this young man doing, and he's putting Illini back on the map, because we ain't had nothing brewing, nothing since 2005 with D Brown, Cook, Williams, right?
Yeah, Darian Williams. Yeah,
and it's just we got cooked. We've been getting cooked since, and this kid.
Well, I think we played not so long ago when we
2 years ago.
Yeah, when Illini played the what's the other school? It's Sister Jean. I can picture it. I can't think of it. Jesus Christ.
Sister Jean.
Yeah. Oh, Loyola, when they played against Loyola and Loyola beat it.
Oh, yeah. But this was 2 years ago when they won the Big Ten championship then.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Loyola beat him in the bracket. So
Yeah,
so.
but this kid is good. He's gonna go in the first round. That's enough.
Most definitely, he should cash out and go to the NBA. Definitely, there's no reason. You've already proved what you can do.
Exactly.
All right, so you said you got UConn. Obviously, they're whooping on Northwestern. Next, they'll play the winner of San Diego Yale. You got Illinois versus Iowa. On the other side, you got Houston versus Texas A&M. At the moment, they just started. They'll play the winner. The winner they'll play Duke, and then we also have NC State and Marquette. I got Marquette blowing them out. Purdue and Gonzaga. That's a matchup. That is a matchup right there.
Wait, is that the next game though?
That is the next game. That is on Thursday.
On Thursday. So, and who do I have advanced? I think I have Purdue beating Gonzaga. I
don't know. Did you have Gonzaga being Kansas?
Oh, I think I had Gonzaga advancing. I'm gonna lie to you real quick. So UConn, Iowa State, North Carolina, Arizona, Houston, Marquette. I have Purdue over Gonzaga.
Okay.
I do. So that's going to be an interesting one. But right now we got to get our Illini boys and see if they're going to. I mean, if they do it, great. I'll be more happy for them. But,
yeah, I'm cheering for Illinois to get there to the Elite Eight. Looking at North Carolina, Alabama, it's a 1-4 matchup. I think Carolina takes care of Alabama easily.
Yeah.
And then you got Clemson, Arizona. I think that's going to be a close game because they just took it to Baylor and beat them by 8.
I took Arizona for that one.
Yeah, and they beat Arizona beat Dayton by 10. So that should be a good matchup. And
but Baylor went to sleep, man. Them son of a guns, they were down by 17. They came back, and my son and I were looking at it, and they couldn't hit 2 free throws to tie it up for 66. And I believe it ended on a bad note where it was like 72-66 or something like that. Or 72-64, sorry. So, like, you guys had an opportunity to tie the game, and you couldn't hit 2 damn free throws. What are we doing? It was bad. It was a bad ending. Damn you, Baylor, screwing up my damn bracket.
Creighton, Tennessee's the last game. That's going to be a tough matchup as well. It's a 3-2 matchup. Tennessee squeaked by Texas after having a big lead.
Yeah,
we'll take Tennessee there. All right, cool. All right.
So we pretty much got the same thing going. So how the hell are you in last place in this bracket?
I was in second place for a long time, and then these upsets happen, and forget about it. Forget about it.
I was last, and I went all the way to third.
You know what? I haven't even know. I haven't opened it up. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to work.
I don't want to go to work. All right, now let's get let's go over to the Madhouse on Madison. The Bulls, the disappointing Bulls, played the Celtics last night, and you know what? For some reason they don't show up at home. They don't show up and play
I didn't expect them to win last night, though, and I was surprised that they were in the game. Like I'm going to be honest with you, I turned it on in the third quarter, and they were like 2 points down, and they had taken the lead, and I was looking, and I said, I'm surprised they're in this damn game. And obviously, the fourth quarter, that's where the Bulls usually collapse.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know what's going on because they're trying to play the 2 bigs with Drummond and Vucevic, and it doesn't really help the offense. Vucevic, for some reason, does not show up all the time. He got 5 rebounds. 5. You 7 foot, bro. Stand next to the rim. Stop being at the 3-point line, bro. That is not your jam.
Whatever I always said. I said this about him before. That's why I like Drummond. I will say it again and again and again. Drummond is my favorite player on this team because he does what he's supposed to do. I don't care if everybody, he's a bench player, he's this. No, I don't give a crap. Let me tell you something. You look at Vooch and you think he's supposed to be this high and mighty player that's down low, getting rebounds. No, he likes just to sit there and just jack up threes. He does not do much.
He likes touching the ball. Yeah, he likes to touch putback. That's it. Correction. 2 rebounds. I had him for 8. He only got 2 rebounds. Correction. In half the minutes, because Vooch played 32 minutes. Drummond played 16.
Yeah.
Vooch had 14 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. Drummond had 7 points and 6 rebounds in half the time.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Can you if you give him another 5 to 6 minutes, he's gonna average a double-double in half the time.
I like Drummond.
Well,
I don't care what anybody says. I like Drummond.
I'm a big fan of Drummond. Hopefully
he follows me on Twitter. I bullshit you not, brother. He follows me on Twitter, and he's a nice guy. Because when we sat behind the Bulls players when they played out here versus the Nuggets.
Yeah.
He's dancing. He's having fun. He's very animated on the side. He's a big, goofy guy, but he gets on the court. He does his damn thing. He does his damn job. Everybody, if you stick to your damn job, things would be fun. Things would be a lot smoother. But it ain't fun because everybody wants to just run and gun. You know what I'm saying? I am not okay with this. I hate the new era. JC, you doing all that talking. If you don't get your words on this damn mic, we're gonna be mad.
JC's on his he should be staying up to get on the mic. So we'll hook you on for the next segment. But we've got 11 games left. I'm sorry, 11 games.
And the biggest fight I seen out of DeRozan was against the Rockets when he went after
that was a dirty game. The refs let it go for so long. I was watching that game. They're letting a lot of these pushing because what's his name's over there? The agitator.
Not Pat Beverly.
No. The other one.
The one with the I hate this guy. Yeah. But he gets under not Draymond's skin.
I'll tell you right now, it's Dylan Brooks.
Brooks, there you go. You know what? My son said he's like, you guys never remember names. It's just like, I don't know, man. They're not my squad. I don't know them.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to the other teams.
First of all, you're covering 5 or 6 different sports. So remember everybody across all the leagues is kind of tough.
But Brooks is so full of himself.
He is. He's definitely full of himself. And the thing was, it didn't even include him. He injected himself and went after DeRozan. DeRozan's like, man, get off my face.
Yeah, but what DeRozan did is because the other player was messing with him through the whole game, and then finally he just like he blatantly did it. He didn't even make it smooth. He just went over there and just like threw his knee into him. It's just like
he knew he was going to attack for it. He knew he was going to attack, but it was a statement. It was a statement. So but again, I did not agree with with DeRozan getting tossed because as soon as he did it, he said it was on me. He walked away, and then Dylan Brooks agitated the whole thing. He should have been tossed.
He should have been tossed. But you know what? And since we're on the toss scenario, can we talk about Chris Paul getting tossed with the last 6 seconds of the game?
For what?
I think he called, and I think his brothers, right? I don't know who he called a TikTok. He called him a TikTok, and then he got one tech, and then he told him something else, and then he got another tech. But he's like, I didn't really say anything to him.
Did the ref Tony Brothers? Yeah, that dude don't play.
Tony Brothers he don't play. He's a you know what? And I apologize. I'm not no discrimination, but they say women are soft or whatever. Tony Brothers is the softest brother out there.
Anytime I see that
pun intended. Pun intended.
Exactly. Anytime he's officiating in one of the Bulls games, I'm like, oh, we're screwed. He doesn't give us any calls. He's done that every single game, even when the baby Bulls were in the running. With Rose and everybody else. There's JC. There we go. He just came back from shit out.
Like all right, but on the mic.
All right, we're gonna finish the Bulls segment right here with we got 11 games left. We've got the Wizards, which should be a win, right? Pacers, that should be a loss. Nets should be a win. So we got 2 wins. Timberwolves is a loss. Hawks. I'm gonna put that as
let's go back to the Pacers real quick. What are the Pacers actually playing for? Are they playing for seeding, or are they locked into where they're at?
No,
where they just
the Pacers are a 6th seed, so they're still trying to climb up.
They're still trying to climb 40, 42.
Yeah,
that's fair. Because sometimes they'll start benching them.
I understand that. But if you got 11 games, or what is it? 7 games at that point, you're playing to try to get as high as you can. The last thing you want to do is you want to be facing the Bucks in the first round.
Yeah, let me say, Bucks they're not all that, you know.
I know that, but I'm saying they match up evenly.
No, that's
They
fair.
match up evenly.
That's
That's
fair.
Kill us like every time we play them.
Yeah.
Bobby Porter's got a personal vendetta against us.
Yeah, but we're bad. We're just a bad team. You're like we don't gel. You know, everybody's just doing whatever the hell they want to do. And like we just stated earlier, you know, the only one I'm loving is, and I hate to say because I was not a big fan of White. I was not a big fan of the Sumu. I was not a big fan of, you know, Patrick Williams, but all of a sudden, you know, hey, I want $200 million contract, and down the stretch he started playing, and then he got hurt. So dude, I was not a fan of these players. Now I'm just like, you know what, just bring them back and run it back with these three and bring something else.
Well,
you know, I'm good with it. Patrick Williams started playing towards the end with like the last 20 games that he was playing, or was it 10 or whatever. He started playing.
But do you need him at this point if you got Drummond?
They're gonna bounce Drummond. Let's just be honest with ourselves. They want to go younger. They're gonna want Williams is their guy. They drafted Williams.
I understand that, but like Patrick Williams, his contract's up, right? But you got, all right then, that just dropped. You got DeMar, who's gonna walk, right? Because they didn't trade him. You still have Kobe, you got Zach, you got Ayo, you got Vooch, you got Caruso, you got Lonzo Ball.
And Ball is coming back. He's been cleared.
He's been cleared, right? He's been cleared. So you got your point guard back, which is gonna shift everybody back to their natural position where Alex is playing the 2. You have, what do you do? Is Kobe playing the 2 or Caruso coming off the bench? Like
Caruso's
they've got a lot of
bench.
decision.
Caruso's
Caruso should come off the bench, yeah.
Because you're gonna get 30 from White. You're gonna get 20 through 30 points from White. Caruso, defensively,
really, with Zach back? I don't think so. Remember, Zach's back, and when he gets that ball,
I'm just hoping he just goes.
All the rest of the planet's got to orbit around him. You know, he does not like to pass the ball.
Well, yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting that Levine is still on this team.
Yes,
I forgot this guy was here.
So does Levine. Let's see. You also have.
You're sending me to Detroit. Oh, I need this surgery. Can't go nowhere. Yeah,
I would have done the same thing. The Bulls play the Knicks twice. They play Magic, the Pistons, the Wizards again. Actually, they play the Knicks 3 times in the last 11 games.
You
know, to be honest with you, I hope they get bounced out of the playoffs and they get a higher draft pick.
Yeah, this playing stuff.
Agreed. Agreed, 100%.
But you know what? They're going to disappoint us, and they're going to win.
They're going to disappoint us.
They're going to disappoint us, and they're going to go and win and do a play-in game, whatever it is that they got going on. I hate these play-in games.
I hate that.
I'm not a fan. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, this makes it great. No, it does not make the game great. This is stupid.
It dilutes it. It dilutes it. That means you can be 5 games under 500 and make the playoffs, and then get, you beat somebody in a 2-game series, and then boom, now we're in the playoffs. That just stupid.
And then you play the highest seed, and you're gonna get bounced out anyways, and you're gonna be who is it? Like, let's say Boston winds up playing, let's say Atlanta wins or whatever. You're gonna play the crappiest team like they always do. You just might as well just get it out the way and do it now. What are we doing? Wasting my time.
You're wasting time, and you're also giving possibility of an injury to a good team. And then now you messed up the playoff run. So
no, that's what they say about football, right? They want to add extra games or whatever, and you're running a risk of injury, but nobody's really thinking about it. And I know JC is listening to this with his eyes closed, but
he just got off work. No, I mean, before
he needs a nap.
He needs a nap.
He needs a nap.
I'm wide awake. I was looking.
He's looking down at his phone. But tell me I'm wrong. This is the same concept. You're adding these extra games, these bullshit unnecessary games. They're unnecessary.
With football, they're going to take away some of the preseason games to compensate that, and I think that's fair. Speaking of disappointments, the Chicago Blackhawks, they just beat the San Jose Sharks after going down 4 goals.
Oh wow! I wonder.
Going down 4 goals. They came back in overtime and won 5-4. And the standings as of, we have 11 games as well left on a docket for them as well. So the Sharks have 40 points and the Blackhawks have 45 points. So Blackhawks, start effing losing. We've been telling you this for about a month.
But
Stop. I don't know why the kid is back. I love the kid. He's great. He's phenomenal.
do you think they should just? Well, now I think he's trying to break some record like Kane and Tull's records or something like that.
Oh.
You see, so he's trying to break records now. That's why they're leaving him in there. If not me, I'd shelve the kid. I'd shelve him for the rest of the season. Like, but then you see, wait, I'll take that back. No, I wouldn't, because you know why? If I'm a fan and I'm home and I want to see this kid play, especially home games, it kind of pisses me off that you go to these games and they all start sitting down, but I paid my little $200 to come see this game, or $100, and I took the day off or the night off or whatever from work, and we all work for a living. We all go to see these, and you see them in street clothes because you know why? They're taking a rest. Man, you know what? I hate to say, back in the day, they played 82 games. Jordan, when he was 40, 80, he played all 82 games with busted knees. I don't want to hear this bull, man. So you know what? Yeah, I'm okay with him playing. I'll take it back. I want to rescind my.
But you also want him to get the time. You want him to get the reps. You want him to get as much seasoning as possible going into year 2. As much. Not that the team is going to be the same next year anyway, but the camaraderie of your line, your everything of that nature. But like I said, I mean, even if we end up with the second pick, we're going to walk away with a fantastic player in the upcoming draft. But like I said, we definitely need to put more pieces together on this team. Definitely put some defense together. Because,
God.
I mean, like every single game, it's 4 goals, 5 goals, 7 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals, 5, 3, 5. I mean, it's like, I don't think I've ever seen like this much scoring in hockey. Like, can they juice a puck like they do in MLB? Like, I can't believe it. Like, I see some of these hockey scores. I'm like, what is happening? Like,
I think there's some rules like basketball
and gloves.
Football. Look at all these sports have went offensive. So you have football that is a bajillion points to 50 whatever, and then you got basketball a bajillion points to whatever, and then you have hockey now. Like you stated, it's like 9-5. It's all the. I remember when the game was 3-1 or 1-1 or 2-1. I just remember it not being so high, and now all these games are on steroids. And not the players, but the game. The sport itself is on steroids.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll let JC gather his football notes. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Hit the button. Hit the button, dude. Hit the button.
You got it.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Thanks, Sean. I muted myself there. Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with Big Z. Now we got a house, No Sweat Surge and JC Dynasty Fantasy Football. And it's time. It's time to talk some football with JC. JC, what did the Bears do this week?
They visited Caleb at USC, as well as Keenan Allen made an appearance at USC to dap up our boy and discuss who's fighting for number 13. like I said, there might be some rock, paper, scissors on the field to determine who has the rights to pay Scott for his jersey number that he'll eventually have to give up.
I think it goes to Allen. I think Caleb's going to come in and be Agent Zero.
I like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
I like the idea.
Another number.
Yeah.
It's easy to
a lot of
market.
these guys, they go back to their old college number, whether it be 1 or 2 or 0 or whatever. But yeah, I guess it'll be up to them to fight it out, figure out who wants it more.
Yeah. What did you think of his of Caleb's pro day? Did he look impressive? Was it something alarming that you've seen?
You know what? I really only saw the 60-yard bomb that he threw. I did, I did record it. Just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Because I was literally like, I work evenings, so therefore, during the day I was sitting there like, what channel is it on? Like I'm sitting there like ESPN, NFL Network, like I'm searching all over for this pro day, and it's like, no, you have to go to NFL Plus, and it's like, I'm not paying you. Like, stop it. All right. Same thing with the Marquee Network. Stop it. I am not paying you extra money. Like, just stop. All right. So that said, I did see the 60-yard bomb. It looked pretty impressive to me. But like I said, I do want to go back and watch like the actual pro day, because a lot of it they said was him working under center, working out of the quote unquote pocket, not necessarily doing like his rollouts and his broken down stuff. Like he was trying to show more of his progressive pro style, what you're looking for. Hey, I can go under center, I could take snaps under center, do my 3-step, 5-step, 7-step, stuff like that. So that's exciting, because that's the kind of stuff you want to see, especially from a system where mostly USC ran a lot of shotgun. So you want to see a quarterback be able to go under center, do a cadence, do a 3-step, 5-step from under center, because I mean it's much different than being in shotgun and just taking a snap.
And I think for people that don't understand like what the pro day is really, you're trying to enhance themselves and show everybody, especially the top 5 picks, where he might go. Right, let's say he doesn't go number 1. You're looking at your arm strength, your arm accuracy. You're looking at your footwork, like you said. Can you call a cadence? Right, being under center, everybody knows you have that playmaking ability. We've seen that comes naturally. We don't have to see that, but we're looking at, is your footwork correct? Because Justin had footwork problems at the beginning. Justin has that long elongated throw. Caleb doesn't have that. Throwing from under center, something that you didn't see him do a lot at USC, because they didn't have the prop. They lost a lot of guys to the NFL, so they didn't have the talent level his last year there. So they're seeing a lot of different things. And he threw that. I think he looked like he was flat-footed on that 60-yard bomb. That was accurate as hell.
Well, the angle that I saw, like basically they didn't even show him in the motion. Like they had already moved the camera to cover the wide receiver downfield. So you didn't even get to like see him, do his launch. Now I know there are other camera angles of that throw. So again, that's where, I'm like, I'll probably watch the pro day tonight. Just because, tonight's my night where I actually have time to watch stuff like that. But that said, it's scripted. Everything, like they work for a week and a half leading up to this with the wide receivers. Like, hey, these are the 60 throws we're going to go over. I mean, it's very much scripted. He only had 2 balls hit the ground, which, is good for a pro day, but as a lot of the experts say, when you're in shorts, nothing should hit the ground. But, for 2 balls to hit the ground, that's not bad.
But you and I touched on this for the past couple of weeks, right? Where we're saying a lot of these players are not showing up for pro day because they're saying, "Go check out my tape, my mixtape," right? Or go, especially when we're like the top 10 picks, or we're gonna go first round, and we already know.
Like usually, like I haven't heard of anyone really skipping on their pro day.
But isn't
The combine, yes.
You're right.
Yeah. The pro day, like I said, not many people skip on their pro days because you're working with guys that you have, like I said, he's working with, the Brandon Rice, like JJ McCarthy was throwing to Blake Corum, the running back out of Michigan. So you're throwing to your own guys that you're used to throwing to. And again, you have a week and a half to work into this script, as you will. So again, you might run this one particular route 20
making
times.
it repetitive.
Right. And again, you're working with, hey, Brandon Rice, like, I'm having you run all the out routes. I'm having this guy run all the in cutting routes, so it's one of those, it's even scripted of which wide receiver you're throwing to, where it, like I said, it's very minute detail. And like I said, you're working perfectly to make this quote unquote script look as good as possible.
Wrestling.
Yeah, well, wrestling, they don't really.
Full circle, babe. We were talking about wrestling earlier, so this is why we're right back to it.
Well, like wrestling, you always hear the story of like, I found out, an hour before the match that I was going over,
Right.
So and then they have to work out like, or like you hear the story of like, Mr. McMahon came up to me an hour before, said I'm going over with the stunner, or going to, and like that's how you finish, but like everything else in between, that's up to the wrestlers to figure out, and
the coordination,
make it look good, if you will.
But my question for you is, and I posted this on the 17th and we touched on it, right? What makes Caleb the number one pick? What makes him a better asset than the other three quarterbacks that could possibly just fit plug and play, and we don't have to pay so much for this number one, right? We can get rid of that number one and move back and so forth. What makes him better than the other quarterbacks? And there's like 160 comments on here on that pick.
It's the ease of throwing. Like, I mean, he has a pretty big arm where, when he throws, it is literally like a flick of the wrist. And
so did Jay Cutler.
He's throwing at 30, 40 yards. It's also the off script stuff where, like I said, it's Patrick Mahomes-esque or Kyler Murray-esque, where he's able to escape the pocket, roll out, find a guy 30 yards downfield, or throw it across the field, from the right hash to the left sideline, where that itself is a 30-yard throw from the right hash to the left sideline. You're not even talking distance downfield. You're talking horizontally it's 30 yards, then you add in the vertical. So you're talking, he's got some very good intangibles. But one thing was, I was watching I forget his YouTube channel, but it is Kurt Warner, and Kurt Warner sitting there breaking them down, and he's talking about it, and everything that Kurt Warner was talking about is like literally like you can't see Caleb do progressions because the USC offense was like so atrocious that it's like by the time he did his first read, he was then running for his life, escaping the pocket, trying to extend the play. And he was basically saying, like, I have no idea what kind of offense they're running because, like, he can't get past his first read.
So would you have to look at the tape from prior year?
I would probably say look at the tape from prior year, just to be, feel more comfortable. And again, like I said, it's one of those, when you hear somebody like Kurt Warner basically saying, like, the USC offense is not a pro offense, or he can't even determine like what these routes are supposed to be because the play's breaking down so quickly. It makes it where you sit there and go, is he mentally ready to run a pro offense? And that's kind of scary.
Fields just go through all of that.
Exactly. So
what are we doing? Getting Justin Fields 3,000? Like, do we just get an upgrade of Justin Fields? That's what it sounds like. Because our offensive line, he was running for his life too.
Well,
Scrambling,
again,
right? Is that the
Bears
term,
have
scrambling?
definitely improved quite a bit, and I still expect that we're going to improve some more with the number 9 pick and potentially, So, like I said, I mean, we have upgraded from Keenan Allen Darnell Mooney to Keenan Allen. I mean, DJ Moore, second year with the Bears. Caleb's first year. Cole Kmet now is a veteran. He should know
Monster.
what's going on. And again, you're gonna have Darnell Wright, second year in the system. Tevin Jenkins will be healthy. Hopefully, Nate Davis, who last year was out with multiple personal issues, multiple injury stuff. Hopefully, he's back healthy. We just signed a new center from the LA Rams. That's on a 1-year deal. Hopefully, he can be productive. And like I said, we still have Braxton Jones, which maybe at 9, we look at a left tackle, we upgrade Braxton Jones. Braxton becomes more of a swing tackle. Like I said, there's plenty of options for polls right now to help Caleb as well. Because, again, if we can give that kid an offensive line with his ability to go off script, where plays break down and he's able to, work his magic, like Pat Mahomes. Like I said, it'll be great, but
it doesn't translate over though. That's my concern. Is that we look at these plays, and Mahomes is an exception, right? But right now, everyone is not going to be Mahomes, and he has to make his own style of game. But does it translate over?
I really think the better comp for Caleb Williams is Kyler Murray. I really think that is the better comp. Everyone's saying they're all trying to predict him as Pat Mahomes, Pat Mahomes, Pat Mahomes. I really look at him as a taller Kyler Murray because, even though he's like 6'1", Kyler's closer to that 5'11", 6 foot. So again, I look at Caleb as more of a Kyler Murray, which if you told me, hey, if you told me, hey, we're going to give you a Kyler Murray on the Bears, I think everyone would take it.
I wouldn't. You know why? Because Kyler Murray, he wasn't, and I think they had to put a clause in his new contract or whatever to stipulate that he needs to start reading that playbook. He needs to get off that Call of Duty.
But I'm saying play on the field. Play on the field. He's been top 10 quarterback in production every year since he's been in the league, other than, due to injury. So if you told me we're getting a top 10 every season quarterback, and Kyler, I believe, has broken 4,000 yards.
That's fair.
I would have to look that stat up. But like I said, if you told me that's what we're going to walk away with in a player, I would be more than happy with it.
I'm just worried about the work ethic. When you say Kyler Murray and then, his work ethic to get there, his practicing ethics, the ability to.
And that's where I think a lot of the veteran leadership with the Bears is really going to be, the thing that is going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, it'll be an instrumental factor. Yeah,
right. Where when you look at the Arizona Cardinals, when Kyler's there wasn't a whole lot of veteran leadership on that team. They were kind of in a rebuild themselves. Whereas the Bears, like Jalen Johnson's already come out and said, like, hey, look, you know what? We understand you're from California, but you better come here prepared to work. Like this whole Hollywood lifestyle, it ain't going to fly, bro. Like you need to come here prepared, ready to roll.
And he made some great comments. Like he said, it's a football town. He made all the right comments. Like all the negative crap that internet puts out there. And when you actually hear him speak, he doesn't sound like he doesn't want to come. It's not like Sanders slanging his kids around.
Most of the drama stems from his father, just like Lonzo Ball and all the Ball brothers. It's more of the father than it is.
Sanders is doing the same thing. Deion Sanders. He doesn't, they're telling this kid not to come over here, but he's telling his kids where they're going to go as well. It's the same concept. So it sounds like he's not buying it. Yeah,
Because,
Caleb is not
you know
buying
what?
it.
Like, don't even get me started on that, because you know what? Where did your son end up with, last year? Started off awesome with Colorado, and then, it all fell apart. So, like I
Yeah.
said, to me, like, Shador Sanders has a lot to prove before
His other
he
son
gets.
is good on defense, though. I'm gonna stop playing on
Well,
that kid.
like I said, I mean, I know Dion's, supposedly a good coach, and he's bringing in top talent and all this stuff, but it's still one of those, like, dude, Colorado fell apart, at the end of the season.
Mhm.
So you've got a long way to go before you can start telling me what team you're going to go to and not go to.
Mhm.
That said, let's see, Kyler Murray. We got to go back a couple seasons, because last year
He
he
had a
only played
39.
eight games.
Mhm.
2022, he only played 11 games. So if we go back to 2021, which is his last full season, 3,700 yards,
Mhm.
well, close to 38, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then,
Yeah, like season of 3,900 yards before that.
yeah,
And then his rookie season, he had 3,900 yards as well. So definitely a great talent, and people just look at his size, but his talent supersedes his size. And it's very close to over there in New Orleans when they had Drew Brees. Everybody's complaining about, oh, he's so small, he's so small. Drew Brees, got a championship. So
Drew Brees, I mean, that guy, his accuracy and his, for as small as he was, he had a huge arm,
Yeah.
and people didn't give him the credit that he deserved for his deep ball, because, I mean, some of the stuff he did with Marquise Colston and some of those guys, I mean, he was throwing 50-yard touchdowns. And I mean, like, you're talking like laying it out perfectly for those wide receivers.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many years I drafted Drew Brees as my quarterback in fantasy. Him, Peyton Manning, and like Brett Favre. And then one year, I was 1 year early on Carson Palmer in Arizona. I drafted him his first year in Arizona, and it wasn't until year 2 that he learned the offense and took off and had a great season. So, but like I said, if Kyler Murray, the three seasons that he played a full season, um, all were 3,700 yard seasons with at least 20 touchdowns, averaging like 24 touchdowns. So for a rookie season, I would take that easily. But like I said, I also think that Caleb's going to have better weapons than Kyler's ever had. With Keenan Allen, with DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Swift out of the backfield, Herbert out of the backfield, Gerald Everett as a second tight end. I mean,
every time I hear somebody say that, I just feel bad for Justin Fields, because we just set that kid up to fail, man. Every time I hear it,
there was I forget his name, but there is a player personnel guy that came out. He's been doing a bunch of interviews recently, and he was part of the player personnel for the Bears when they drafted Justin Fields. And I think he was with what was the coaching staff prior to
Fox.
Eberflus? I'm sorry.
Fox. Oh, what was Fox?
No,
was it?
No, I don't think it
was Fox and then Nagy.
Nagy. So he was on the staff when Nagy was there. So it was one of those, like I said, when it was Nagy's last season, they drafted Fields and all that stuff. So he basically came out and admitted that it's both their faults, but he did say, like, it is mostly our fault because we did not have the structure there around him. Like, he walked into a horrible offensive line. He basically said, like, our main goal was to have Andy Dalton play that entire season. We did not, under any circumstance, want Justin Fields to play at all year one. And it was, unfortunately, Andy Dalton got hurt, and Fields got thrust in. So, and he even said, because the second game that Fields played was against Cleveland, he basically said, he's like, we did him no justice, no service by having him his second game in the NFL go against, one of the best defenses in the game and just get murdered.
And I want to take back my original statement from a week ago, where I was like, well, Justin Fields, he's going to Steelers, and Wilson is only going to play a year. They plan on signing Wilson to an extension. So
yeah,
where does Fields fit in?
That, but we'll see how that goes. Because even today they came out and said, Justin will compete for the starting position when the time is correct. So, when is that time correct? When he only has 45%, of the playing time? You know what I mean? Like that's
Wilson
what you're
goes
saying.
down with a bum shoulder or a knee or whatever.
Right. Basically they're saying like, we're going to wait till, week 8 and then we'll assess and see if, Fields can take over, because then he'll only play 49% of the snaps, and we won't have to give up a 4th round pick. Yeah, that's essentially what they're saying. So, but Russell Wilson getting paid $1 million, he's the veteran. I absolutely 100% see why they're going to roll with, Russ over him. But like I said, it's, you sit there and look at the Kyler Murray comp, and like I said, to me, you walk away with a Kyler Murray-esque player. That's not bad at all. Like I said, it's, as to me, my whole thing is, and they've already come out and said the Bears will be going down to LSU on the 27th. So that's 3 days from now. And they will be watching Jaden Daniels' pro day. They've already gone to JJ McCarthy's pro day. So to me, they're doing their due diligence. They, I think it was Eberflus went to Oregon and watched Bo Nix's pro day. So to me, they're doing their due diligence. They're not just looking at Caleb, which to me is the biggest thing. Like, I understand we have the number 1 pick, and all consensus is that Caleb is the number 1 pick. But to me, if you sell yourself short and you do not study the rest of these quarterbacks and give an honest review of all the quarterbacks, and like I said, if you still come to the decision that Caleb is the guy, I'll support it. But to me, like, again, there's multiple people out there saying Jaden Daniels is the number 1 over Caleb. It's, again, you go watch Jaden's tape, and yes, LSU had a better offensive line. They had better wide receivers. They had better, talent around him. But again, you go watch his tape, he's making progressive reads. Yeah, he still gets out of the pocket and, makes some runs and makes some plays, but he's still making that, here's my read, my first read, here's my second read, here's my third read. So again, that's the biggest thing to me is, do not sell yourself short. Study every quarterback in this draft. You need to make sure we get it right, because if we don't get it right, we are going to absolutely waste another year or another 3 years of a good defense. We have a stacked secondary. Sweat's there. You give us another edge rusher, and a slightly upgraded defensive tackle. Like I said, we could have a great season. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Kmet, Swift, Gerald Everett. Again, we need, possibly a slot guy. Tyler Scott, I assume, is going to fill in. Right. But, I mean, the Bears are ready to roll. We just need a quarterback. And like I said, if we sell ourselves short and we do not draft the proper quarterback, we're going to be blowing it up again in 3 to 5 years. So
that's fair. Well, I still think we should have kept Fields, man. I really do. I think with the weapons we have now, we would have been. I think we would have been good.
Let's be honest. The entire NFL let us know what Fields was.
Yep.
to me, when you walk away with nothing more than a 6th round pick, that's enough. That's 32 teams telling you, look, he's got talent, but it's backup talent. It's not somebody being out there.
He also didn't get one roughing the passer penalty last year. Not one. And he got murdered last season. So, all right. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up with our opening day predictions. And so we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast with Big Z, No Sweat Surgeon House, and JC Dynasty Fantasy Football. Just a quick shout out to Martin. His birthday was actually this week, so shout out to Martin. And if you can go back and you can watch that on YouTube, on our YouTube page, when we had Martin Moreno and his son Hooter. There's a lot of laughing in that one. It was a lot of jokes and a lot of good time talking about Kobe and sports in LA as comparison to Chicago. So go ahead and check that out. But it is time to talk about our Chicago baseball team because it is opening week for baseball this Thursday. Both Sox and Cubs come to opening day. The White Sox open around, I think it's at 3-something. And the Cubs open at 6:45, I believe, in Texas. So White Sox re-signed Kevin Pillar after releasing him 2 days after prior, which makes no sense. But what I'm hearing a lot about the White Sox is that they're changing the culture first, making sure that they have the right coach. If this guy can coach, great. If not, he'll be gone. And essentially, they brought in a bunch of guys who are grinders, a bunch of kids that are going to try hard. A bunch of players that are not big names. Everybody's pretty much gone. Gary Crochet, who was literally put into the reliever role right out of college, and they blew out his arm, and he's coming back from Tommy John. He is the official starter for the opening day. Am I excited for White Sox baseball? I'm excited because that means the spring is coming. Am I excited for the team outcome? No. I still think they lose about 95 games to 100. It's going to be a bad, long season. But you know what? Tickets are going to be cheap, and I'll be able to stay wherever I want. And there'll be a lot of giveaways, and there'll be a lot. They added about 10 more giveaways. I saw that this week. More bobbleheads and more this and more that. They have a WWE night in May.
They give it to all 10 fans that show up. Yeah, you can.
When there's giveaways, there's at least 28 to 30,000. In the summer, the ballpark is packed, especially on the weekends. It's just those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games. You'll have 17,000, if that, 12,000. It's tough. It's tough. They are the pimple on God's butt, and as far as it comes to Chicago baseball teams in the city. So,
I ain't never heard that saying in my damn life, but we going wrong with it. What the hell is that? The pimple on your Lord's butt.
Yeah. Right. That's how they're regarded in this city. It is what it is. But I'm still on the fence on going. I'm gonna take the day off.
You're gonna go. Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop fronting, man. You going, brother? You going?
I'll probably go.
You're gonna go. You're. I'll give you this. Even though you have two teams, right? I still don't understand that. You are a White Sox, blah blah blah. Apparently. So you're a loyalist. You're a loyalist. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
You're for punishment.
What was that, JC?
I said you're a glutton for punishment.
Apparently, from a White Sox fan, a Bulls fan, and a Bears fan, yeah, a glutton for punishment.
Chicago fan and all.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. Other news with the Cubs. There's really not much on the Cubs news front. Besides that, they will be opening up the season in 2025 in Japan versus the Dodgers, which is going to be cool. But the thing that MLB gets wrong is they don't televise the game for free. How do you want people to know about your sport, expand the sport, want people to play the sport if you don't allow it to be for free for everybody? It's very, very dumb to have a game that's on the other side of the world and no one can watch it. It just made no sense.
I'm going to tell you this right now, and I am not a Colorado fan of any team, but I live out here. Yeah. I will tell you this blatantly. The Nuggets won it all last year. Mm-hmm. They don't even get to watch the Nuggets game out here.
What do you mean?
And to my knowledge, they have some state. They have it's called Altitude. They have a channel, and they're going back and forth with the Nuggets. And somebody's looking for more money or whatever. We have not seen a Nuggets game on Altitude channel or any channel. The only time we watch a Nuggets game is when it's
on ESPN.
ESPN, when it's like nationally televised. Yeah. That's TNT or something like that. It is horrible because these are your champions of last year and possibly might win it this year as well. They're close, and they don't get to watch the games.
Yeah, that's sad. That's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Cubs are opening against the Rangers at the Rangers. They play at 6:35 on Thursday. Didn't the Rangers win it all?
Last season? I forget. If it's not my team, I don't give a shit. Hey. And we know it wasn't the White Sox, because
it was not the White Sox.
My page would be blown up by my mom. My mom's a White Sox fan. My whole dad's side is a White Sox fan. It's just bad. I would have been blown up for the whole year.
How is it bad? You ain't got to talk nothing to them, man. The team's gonna do all the.
They'll send me text messages.
Yep.
Man,
Texas Rangers 2023 World Series.
Yeah, Texas Rangers. Yeah, they beat the Diamondbacks.
You know how it goes. They'll work it into the conversation. You know how that. Stop fretting, man. They're gonna weasel that right in. Hey, so Sergio, how about the Cubs? He's like, oh man.
So, what are you expecting? You're playing the world champs, and you have a decent team. You don't have you guys do not have an Orioles team. You don't have Atlanta. You don't have a Dodgers. You don't have San Diego kind of team. Even the Yankees on paper, which that's all they are usually, are a better team. So what is your expectation of the Cubs Rangers this series? And then you think you'll win 2 out of 3?
I think we'll win. I think we could take 2 out of 3, and it's because I think we are almost evenly matched up. It feels like where even our starting rotation has gotten better as far as what we're going to be putting out there. So you know what, the bats were there. And the only thing we were missing was a rotation, and we were missing people to close. Closing was a bad. It was what was the word we were using earlier? An atrocity. Atrocious. It was atrocious. See, where's that number button, brother? It's atrocious because we gave up so many games due to the circumstances that we could not close. We could not close our mouths if we wanted to. This is horrible. It was bad, but I think they've cleaned it up a little bit, and I think our starting rotation is better. We've got the same hitters, and they will hit. I think we match up evenly. I think we do take 2 out of 3.
Wow. JC?
Against the Rangers, I hope we can at least take 1 out of the 3.
That's realistic. That's very realistic.
If we take 1 out of the 3, I'd be happy with that. And then, like I said, against the Rockies, I'm hoping we take all 3.
Yep,
we should, but you know what I noticed with our teams, we beat the good teams and we get crapped on by the bad teams, and that goes for the Bulls, that goes for the Bears. I'm like, what the hell? Like, the Cubs are the same way. We'll beat good teams, and then we'll just get crapped on by the bad teams. And so
it's a mentality issue.
That's fair.
It's it's they suck, so we could take a day off, or we can goof off, or whatever. So that's where Michael Jordan was such a difference maker, because that guy did not like to lose no matter what.
No.
So, like I said, whether it be playing Monopoly or golf or poker or checkers or whatever, Michael Jordan did not want to lose ever. Yeah. So it's just
I've already taken Steven's money, JC. So I'll take the 2 out of 3 for the Cubs winning that one.
Sandwich bet. You got a sandwich bet going?
I'm not much of a betting guy, honestly.
That's okay.
Like
okay.
fantasy.
Well, would you like to trade? I will send you bourbon. I don't care. It's not even a bet. It's an even trade.
See, but it's not really an even trade, because some of my bourbon is pretty darn expensive, sir.
Okay, well, you put a dollar amount on the bourbon then.
Whatever you want, brother. I mean, I
would have to send you like a gift card, because, like I said, the bourbon stuff. I'm not sending stuff through the mail. That is a felony, sir.
Yes, it is.
No, we order from Drizzly.
Yep. We could do
Drizzly.
that.
We're advertising today. Drizzly.
Oh my
God. I said, against the Rangers, I just hope we could take one of the three, and then, like I said, the Rockies. Like I said, I hope we could take all three. That would be.
Yeah, and we should have good weather.
Look at me being optimistic.
Well, I mean, the only thing is you're going. It's the first 3 games of the season, and you're going up against the former World Series champs. So, it's just one of those. Like I said, hopefully we come out to a strong start, and we do take 2 out of 3. But like I said, I'm just trying to quell my expectations a little bit, and just say, hey, if we can walk 1 out of 3, I'd be happy with that. Come home. Get our home series and take all 3 at the home series. So, but like I said, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, we got Belly back. We got, we got some good players. So, like I said, hopefully this team can put it together.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little time for the Cubs to put it together, especially because they weren't all together with that lineup most of the season. And then Seo didn't come on until August. Yeah, say it wasn't good until August, and you need protection for Bellinger. The Cubs also released a pie face, Carl Edwards Jr., and infield Dominic Smith. So they released a couple players trying to get that roster down to 26. I think they have about 40 players left on the roster.
I'm surprised Edwards didn't leave 2 seasons ago. Like, he was like the last remaining piece of the World Series.
Yeah, and they had brought him back. It's a bullpen arm, but I think
he wasn't on the team last year. We brought him back to give him basically camp arm, if you will, or spring training arm.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye.
All right, well, that covers the sports for this week. You guys want to do what you're watching or stirring a pot?
Let's do what you're watching. We haven't done that in a while.
All right, what you watching, Serge? What are you watching that is not sports?
I don't know. My grandson's here, so Paw Patrol.
Okay, Grandpa.
Paw Patrol.
See, and I screamed Bluey the one time, and everybody, everybody laughed, and I would have almost got it right this time.
But I'm watching it with my grandson. Who are you watching it with? Hands up. I got no comment.
Don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. I don't even know what that show is, man.
I'm sorry, JC.
I don't have kids, and I don't teach kids that are that young. JC, what are you watching that isn't sports?
Let's see. I watched Wolf of Wall Street last night.
Phenomenal.
And like I said, then Invincible has been going on. They came out with the second part of the season, so I've been watching that. That's Amazon. And then what? There's an Amazon. The new Roadhouse, with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor.
I heard that did not need to be remade. It was not. I'm just what I'm hearing, because I don't think I want to waste my time watching it.
It's got mixed reviews.
It's worth a watch. Definitely, it doesn't follow the exact same premise as the original, which I actually kind of prefer. Like, I hate when they take the exact same script and they just spit it back out. So it is a different script. It is a different story. Conor McGregor was absolutely hilarious in the movie. Just, playing kind of like a psychotic, evil bad guy.
Itself.
So he knows
playing himself.
No, I feel like in real life he's a little, more funny, where like the character he portrayed in the movie was just like he could have come straight out of an insane asylum, just kind of like all over the place, like, kind of acting weird and strange and stuff. So like I said,
that was his original personality.
like I said, I mean, he played a great character. I mean, I don't know that I could see him like becoming an actor and a movie star, if you will, but I mean, for what it was, I mean, I thought he played a great role. And the action scene, pretty well filmed, if you will. Like I said, overall, it's worth a watch. I know they were fighting to get it in the theaters. I don't think it would have been successful in theaters. But like I said, for streaming, I thought it is definitely worth a watch with streaming. So
it's like when they remade, White Men Can't Jump with
Jack Harrell.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was interesting.
Exactly. It's same. Like, to me, that's like a perfect comparison. Like it's one of those like, all right, we're following somewhat the same storyline, but it's a whole new storyline, right? And that's what I liked is where like I said, Patrick Swayze was. Obviously he wasn't a UFC fighter, where Jake Gyllenhaal is a former UFC fighter. So, like I said, a little different story twist, a little different,
I'm sorry.
But I'll watch it. I definitely liked next week. Like I said, you guys watch it. Let me know. Like I said, I thought Connor played a pretty hilarious role in the way of like his character.
I'm gonna give it a watch because like you sold me on it. I wasn't gonna watch it because everything that I've read and so forth, they're like, this movie really did not need to be remade.
Well, people go for the nostalgia, right? People are upset. It's simply with the Ghostbuster movies, the new ones, right? Everybody's upset. Oh, it's not as good as the old ones. If you really watch the old ones and you really like analyze the old ones, they're not that great. You're all about
the animation is 1,000 times better than it was back
then. Right. You got to take it with a grain of salt, right? That's what they had at that time. But also the storyline is not the greatest either. So, a lot of these movies are just, they're hyped up because you were a kid and that was the big box office as you were a kid, okay? And it's okay to people remake them. And if it sucks, it sucks. So what?
We watched E.T., The Flight of the Navigator. I mean, come on. Batteries not included. Remember that movie? And then when I watched it now, and I'm like, why did I like this movie a long time ago?
Yeah.
But when I watch it now, I used to love that movie, Batteries Not Included.
Yeah,
and it still has a great story plot. It has a great story plot, but it's just when I watch it now, it's like it's not the same. I was like, no, I don't really like it.
Yeah, like one of my favorite movies as a kid was Short Circuit with Johnny Five.
Johnny Five.
So, Johnny Five is still alive, baby.
I want to go back and rewatch that, see if it still lives up to my childhood.
No,
but like all the police academies, like all that, like I still love the police academies.
Pause. No, don't do it. Don't mess up my police academies.
I love the police academies. They still hold up.
Those still hold up.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the last one or the last two. Yeah.
What's the word of the day?
I think it was I went back and watched was it Ninja Turtles 2? The Ooze?
God, no. Yeah.
It was okay. It was a little corny, but it was still okay. So like I said, like there's some movies you go back and watch from your childhood and you're just like
What I do like is that they do bring back, like, I do want to see this new Ghostbusters because they're bringing back all majority of the
Original
old
cast.
characters. So I'm okay with that. Like it at least you're bringing back some of the old with the new, and I'm okay with it. You know,
Yeah.
I just got to see what the storyline is. But
Yeah, I was supposed to see that.
To me,
go ahead.
To me, that's the biggest thing is just like everything is like a reboot or a re whatever. Like that's the Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville and whoever is like that did not need to be made.
Stifler? Stifler.
Stifler. And it's one of those where it's like it didn't need to be made. It is what it is.
I actually enjoyed that one. It wasn't like the original, but I enjoyed the movie.
But that's okay. So like last night before Wolf of Wall Street came on was The Dictator with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, dude, I miss comedies. Like I miss just forget the wokeness, forget all like I just like Tropic Thunder. Like because I was watching something Jack Black just recently did an interview.
Yep.
And he basically said like forget getting canceled. Like let's do it. Like let's make the number. Let's make.
What did he want to do? He wanted to do what is it? So this one was Tropic Thunder. He wanted to do Arctic something. He wants to do the complete opposite of what they just did and just make it even funnier and bring back the original cast. Yeah. And Ben Stiller doesn't want to do it.
Roll the dice.
Well, but again, it's the like Jack Black said, like we don't know that we could do it again, but I want to do it again. Right. Yeah, I mean, and
we
to
might
me, like,
be canceled, but it's going to be a great movie. It is what it is.
Like I said, I can't tell you the last time I watched a comedy and like actually laughed. Like I watch comedies now, and it's like I might get a chuckle once in an entire movie, and it's just like. Yeah. Like I remember like Ace Ventura when it came out, or like some of these movies, and like I would just laugh hysterically. Bro. Now it's just like, wow.
I can't even laugh at part one Ace Ventura because of whatever. And we were talking about it. I think we were talking about it at work some years ago, and because of the nature of the boss or whatever, and it just became a very bad conversation. And it was like, so you don't like that? I was like, oh no, I was just saying the movie was funny. Like it was silly, it was goofy. That's what it was.
Right.
Like, you know what? I would never bring it up again. I apologize. Because then the next thing that happens, I get the Zoom call, and it's going to be HR's face. Hey, Sergio, what were you discussing? I'm good. No. Cancel culture at its best.
Yeah. I watched Mission Impossible, the last one, which is it's the 7th installment. It's called Dead Reckoning. It's a great action film. Get your popcorn out. There's not a bad one. They incorporated a lot of the stories from prior. S.M. Morales is in this one, and a bunch of other people. And it's part 1 to, they didn't finish the story, so there's a part 2 coming out. You know what? It was a little long, but 2 hours and 47 minutes.
They're usually long though. Like I like the Mission Impossible.
I don't mind a 2-hour movie, but a 3-hour movie, that's hard to watch. If you're at home,
it's not Titanic, you're fine.
Oh God,
Saving Private Ryan, you're fine.
Oh yeah, that was fine. But I remember watching
Wolf of Wall Street last night. Like we got to
it's 2 hours. It's like over 2 hours.
We got right to the part where like they're IPOing Steve Madden shoes, and I was like, it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. like there's still like another hour and a half of this movie left. So
I watched Killers of the Flower Moon in the theater, and I was like, oh my God, this is way too long. This story could have been condensed so much, and it would have been a better movie. But it's Martin Scorsese, so I had to go watch it. And it's like,
it's a must.
He's the last director like putting out good content. Like, yeah, I mean, like him and Christopher Nolan. But like I said, like other than that, like everything is Marvel, everything is redo of this movie or that movie. Like I said,
if it's Clint Eastwood, I'm watching a Clint Eastwood movie.
But like I miss like when it was Minority Report, The Island, like some of these sci-fi, and again, like comedies are such a low budget movie usually. Like it's scary movies and like comedies are usually very low budget, films to shoot, and they can make a massive amount of money. But it's like now with like everyone being offended, it's like they don't want to risk like making a comedy anymore. Like
there was a
even
comedian.
spoof movies like Scary Movie and
Oh yeah,
like
they
that
stopped
stuff.
making those. Yeah,
I just like I miss that kind of stuff where it's like you're just goofing around and like making fun of everything in like the culture, like. But again, it like I said, like I was watching The Dictator last night, and like, the missile needs to be more pointy, like, and I'm laughing hysterically, like Jason Moustakis, who is from the League, is from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Right.
like every character that guy plays to me is like an absolute hit, like in the way of like him portraying a character. Like I said, like the League I laugh hysterically at. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was hysterical to me, especially like I said when Jason Moustakis was on, playing his undercover role that he basically can't sleep at night because he was the mob's enforcer, and he did some horrible things to people that and like I said, like he would spend the night with one of the other characters, and like he would scream in like nightmares or whatever they called them, and like I said, his night terrors, and like his character was just so hilarious, and again in the League, he played the brother in Seth Rogen was Dirty Randy, and I'm blanking on Jason Moustakis's character's name. But again, like just hilarious stuff. I mean, again, I just miss comedies, man. I miss them so much. Like
you said Clint Eastwood, right? Earlier, and I just watched like his latest movie was like The Mule, and I was like, this guy's still making movies, and it was actually good. I like Gran Torino. But my favorite movie that he did, that I did like, where he was like supposed to protect the president, was In the Line of Fire. That was my favorite movie that he did. In the Line of Fire. I won't let that one down. That was a good movie.
Gran Torino to me was such a great movie.
It was a good movie.
I know, it was the, even that movie probably couldn't be made today with some of the language.
Yeah, that is a 2008 movie.
Yeah,
that's before.
But like it was just such a great movie. Such a great movie.
All right, boys, it's that time again, and thank you for coming on, and thank you for discussing everything. We went all around the world with this episode, so thanks for jumping on, boys. Everybody, thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup. You got the No Water on the Weekend with Steven and Sean. If they recorded this week, I have no idea. I don't know. So I'm giving him a dig. Go ahead and check that out. They have a couple good episodes in the last couple weeks that I enjoyed. One because I was on it and I was throwing it off. And they had a couple comedians on there and a food critic. So the past 3 weeks have been pretty good. You could also check out my solo show, Intoxicated. It's 3 episodes out there. I got Miguel Esparza. We got Rose Silva. We got why am I blanking on the last episode? Nikki Gomez. She was a model and now she's a modeling coach. Lots of good entertainment. I already have the next episode already queued up, ready to go for next week. So check everything out on 606 Media. Shout out to Ronesh Panic and Serious Beats and the Custom Made for the beats we played on today's audio version of the show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment merchant gear. You can check us out on social media right there. See where it says Surge right underneath. It says TCSF Pod on Twitter. You can find us there. You can find us at Big Z _606 Media Group or at Dynasty _Discord. Art of War. Is that, or are you making a separate one?
Dynasty FF. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you made a separate one yet.
Not yet. Like I said, still unfortunately slow at doing things.
That's okay.
Hopefully tomorrow's my first like full day off with, because we're recording tonight. I have a lot of time tomorrow to, mess around and do some other stuff. So it'll be nice.
Amazing. You can reach us on our email, truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. And for No Sweat Surge and JC, I am Big Z. We'll see you next time for episode 188. And until then, be good to each other. For
Go
the
Illini.
loves.
Go Illini. Do your thing. Don't bust my bracket, but go Illini.
Go Illini.